Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. Today we are in 1 Timothy chapter 4. I'm going to read verses 7 through 8. Paul's just continuing with his training of Timothy, and then he says this to him today. He says, have nothing to do with irreverent, silly myths. Just don't give them the time of day. Rather, train yourself for godliness. So another kind of training. For while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. So the principle here is pretty simple today. Wrong beliefs lead to wrong actions, and then right beliefs lead to right actions. That's basically it. And then Paul exhorts Timothy to essentially get his act in order by being trained in godly beliefs that have this eternal and everlasting value. But the question on the table is this with a text like this. I always ask, what does this spiritual training look like? And how do we get it? How do we get into the gym, right? Well, in context of this letter here, spiritual training would include things like reading the truth, and then knowing the truth, and then living out the truth, at least those big three things. But we could also add that for Paul, spiritual training would include things like discerning the truth from untruth, which is the point of the letter. And then number 5, training others to read, know, live, and discern the truth, right? So spiritual training is a vital part of our spiritual lives. Yet it also assumes that we're engaging some things. So here's some things that spiritual training would assume. Number 1, it would assume that we're not being passive in our spiritual development, that we're actually getting into the gym, right? Number 2, it would assume that we're actively searching the scripture to find the truth, because this is the only place we find it, is in the scripture. Number 3, it would assume we're scanning our life for beliefs that maybe we need to change, right? Number 4, that we're implementing these changes into our everyday lives. That's the hard part of being in the gym, is going to the gym, right? And then number 5, that others see the spiritual transformation in us because they see that our spiritual bodies are changing and thus they're being affected by it. So, are you ready to do some training in the spiritual gym? If so, I would just challenge you to do this one thing. Just implement one item from the list I just gave you. That's it. And then do this. To be held accountable, just share it in the comments below. How about that? So get to the gym today, guys. Well, with that, I love you. I pray this blesses you. If it has, share it with someone else. And I'll see you in the gym today.